Good morning, everybody, and welcome to OptionPit.com. This is the morning volatility report saying hello to everyone. How are you doing? Again, the one volatility trading course. Howdy ho. The one volatility trading course you should take is ours. November 7th. Hop on over to optionpit.com/events. Again, if you send me a note, that you saw it on one of our broadcasts, or even through Option Insider Radio Network and your new Option Pit customer, I will take off $10. Send me a note at andrew@optionpit.com. Again, if you want to understand some of our teaching, here it is, a free video for you there on the website. All right. Off to, it's kind of takeover mania today. SolarWinds, it looks like it's being bought out. Actually, we looked at some, I think last week there was some call buying in this. Twitter, it looks like it was downgraded by Morgan Stanley. So, not looking very good for Twitter. Sad. All up, though. Again, we got the Weight Watchers. Look, Weight Watchers actually has already had a 17. What was the high this morning? Almost $20. So again, we looked at this yesterday. If you bought calls and had offers in, you would have been filled this morning. So ended up being an okay, certainly an okay trade idea that we looked at yesterday. I think the story a little bit is, we had a severe markdown in VIX again this morning. Probably, we had with the opening print, it looks like it. Well, they marked it high. We'll see where it actually is, where it settles. But again, you're seeing VIX in the low 14s again. It drifted down there. So really kind of sharp movement in it. We'll see if it settles. The vol futures, though, right, they drifted down quite a bit early on, and they're starting to sort of build back up. If I see those futures unchanged again on the day, VIX back up, it's not going to surprise me to see a down day. A lot of the earnings have not been great. I think some of our overnight rally, because Draghi was going to speak on the euro, it doesn't look like much has happened so far, at least on that front. The euro is basically unchanged. Maybe you didn't get the shot in the arm that everybody was looking for. Market's just kind of in a weird place. That is all I can say. I think any drops in volatility now feel like they're going to be ultra slow. That has some repercussions for some of the positions that we have. We're pretty much out of all of our volatility positions, at least in our strategy letter, because we're starting to kind of get into no man's land. There's some contango, but not a ton. Oh, really? They're trying to take it back up? Again, that's something we want to exit, by the way. It was. Robert. It was up this morning, right? A little bit for about 3 seconds. They didn't like the consumer reports. So I just think right now there was some expectation of some more easing, something like that. I don't think it came to fruition. So, but look at all the big names like CMG, $45. I think we saw that near the money straddle was 50 yesterday. We looked at some of that. Looked fairish. We're waiting for Google. Yeah, they did. Waiting for Google. We need some decent tech earnings at this point. We just haven't had them. General Motors. Okay. Actually, they like it a little bit. I guess their China number was a little better. But we haven't had great earnings. It hasn't been enough to propel us higher. And it feels like still the only thing that's propelling us higher is the chance of keeping rates flat for another month or so. So we'll see. I think we should look at some plays that might have a little bit of downside to them today, like looking at index flies and some things like that that are slightly out of the money, and see how it goes. We've kind of rallied on nothing, and generally, historically, we have not been able to maintain that. So we'll see what happens. And like I said, any drop in vol, I think VIX at this point is going to be very slow. Right, so positions should reflect that. And with that, that's about all we have for today. We'll see you all in the chat later on. It does. It feels soft, yet it doesn't go down, which is the problem. All right, everybody. Have a good day. See you in the chat later on.